Here's the thing, though. What I've been doing is 3:30 every morning. That's I get up and I do my sprints.
Yeah, I mean, those are prime sprinting hours. People don't realize.
And that's how I know I'm succeeding, is if I'm doing my sprints while everyone else is asleep. It's a winning mindset is what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Hail to the king, baby.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jay, Smooth, and Dwayne. Those are our everydayers. Henry Gray. What's up? Brent. Fred Peterson. Let's talk some football. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here we go. It's not Overreaction Monday. Go. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is Football Talk with Russell Wayne. I am your host. Yes, we are broadcasting live into our Villain Squad page that is now over 40,000 people, 40,000 villains that took this trip with us all the way through to the NFC title game in which we lost. We're also broadcasting in Detroit Lions News Podcast. Thank you for all your help, Joe Chapp and the boys. But it is Tuesday. It's PFF Tuesday. And, you know, there's not very many games, so we got some other topics that I want to get to. I want to get to the pending free agents. The pending free agents. We got some free agents. The Lions have some free agents. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about where Ben Johnson's going to end up. We're going to talk about that. We want to talk about Dan Campbell. And is he being too aggressive? Is that costing us games? We want to talk about that. That's what we're going to hit up today. And I'm starting to really like the music in the background here. I like putting this one. I mean, even if you can see my ugly face right there. Yeah. But we want to talk about these things. You know, the Lions got into this game 34-31. You know, they had a 17-point lead. You know, when I'm looking at the game, I didn't see that. I mean, we get emotional. I mean, I understand. You get done, you're watching the game, you know, you immediately want to point a finger. Right? Is Dan Campbell too aggressive? I don't think he's too aggressive. If anything, he wasn't aggressive enough. That's what I think. Because it wasn't his aggressiveness that stopped those plays from happening. Like, he went for it on fourth down, and he drew up a play, and the receiver dropped the ball. Like, that's so far off. Like, you look at that and you're like, okay, the player failed in that moment. You know, the moment was too big for that player. And in that case, it was Josh Reynolds. You know, but we're not going to blame it on Josh Reynolds either. I shouldn't say we. You can blame it on Josh Reynolds if you want. He dropped 3 passes. And I'm not talking, not just any passes. I'm talking about chains moving passes. Good morning to A-Dub. I'm sorry, I jumped right into it. Good morning to Jordan. Good morning to the skunk on the ground. Skunk on the ground. That's right. Brent says gambling can be addicting. Asking for folks who lost their houses. LOL. Oh, that's not funny. I mean, maybe to you because you won't, you know, put yourself in that position. But damn, I pray for anybody that's got that addiction. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Bear Down Mike says, got a feeling that Reynolds want to be a Lion come next season. I don't think that he'll be a Lion. Yeah, I think that you're correct. He is a free agent, and I don't think that they're going to be running to the back room to sign him. But we are going to talk about that today at some point in time. We want to talk about the Lions pending free agents. And Fred says we win as a team. We win as a team, and we do. And, you know, this thing is still there. This thing is going to be there. But I can't help but, you know, be encouraged. To be encouraged for the next season already, because I've already kind of processed the fact that we lost. You know, I cried myself to sleep. You know, that's all right. You know, I went through my tears. That was me. Right there. You know, I did my crime. But then I look at the future, and this is something that Mike and I are going to talk about today as I bring Mike on. Main Event Mike, welcome to the program.
Sorry, I'm late, Russ. I was sending an angry email to Dan Campbell for not kicking a field goal.
Hey, and right there, I want to know, like, are you angry about that? I mean, throw that into the comments, because you have every right to be. I mean, if that's your stance, I'm not going to take that away from you. I'm not going to beat down your thought process. You should kick the field goal. Damn. I mean, in retrospect, here on now Tuesday, looking back, yeah, I would love to have those field goals, Mike. But then I started really breaking it down, and it's like, can't knock him, because You call a 4th and 2 play. You got Josh Reynolds slipping out of the side. Goff slips out of the pocket, throws a dime, hits him in the hands. They called the right play. It's like the players gotta make the plays. The coaches put the guys in the position to make the plays. The players gotta make the plays. Dan Campbell can't catch the ball for him. He called a 4th and 2 play that would have worked had the player made the play. So what is the complexion of the game is Josh Reynolds dropped 3 passes. 2 of those passes would have extended drives that were very important. And what is the complexion of the game? I would argue that if he catches one of those, they win the game. Because one of them, actually both of them, because you're passing field goals up. One of them is extending the drive, putting them on the 25-yard line with the ability to run the ball a few more times, continue the drive, and obviously score to go up three scores. So you're talking about one of those is equal to 3 minutes off the clock and points. So you can argue one side, you can argue the other, but I always say this is a dangerous, dangerous place that you go in when you start calling out Doctor Strange scenarios. Well, I think when I did this, then this will. Well, you take those points off the boards. No, the ebb and flow of the game worked the way that it did, right? Like, so if any of those plays change, then everything after that is different. You can't just substitute the points, right? Oh, well, kick the field goal and then they win. No, that changes their game plan, which means they call different plays. It completely changes the outcome. So that's dangerous, Dr. Strange.
If our kicker was Justin Tucker, would you still have that stand?
No. Because
No, then we should have kicked it.
if we had Justin Tucker,
Yeah.
if we had the best field goal kicker in the league and he passed up a 45-yard field goal, would I be mad?
Yes.
No.
You still wouldn't be mad.
No, I would accept what Dan Campbell is doing, but I would be more questioning of the decision if Justin Tucker's our kicker. Michael Badgley was 9 of 20
Oof.
with those type of kicks. Wind was blowing. They were 2 of 2 in those short 4th and less than 3 scenarios in the playoffs.
So with Justin Tucker, you'd have kicked it.
Well, yeah, because his percentage isn't 9 of 20.
Right. So can't some of this be laid at the feet of Brad Holmes then for not getting us a reliable kicker and making Dan Campbell look like, in some people's eyes, a moron?
I don't think it changes anything because I accept where he's at. Honestly, I wish that he was more aggressive. Really, if you're going to beat Dan Campbell, be the man. At the end of the half, when you're 4th and 1 and you got to one, it obviously the analytics said that it was easier to get the yard and to win the game, like to add the 4 extra points. The analytics would have said go for it, right? But I know why he kicked the field goal, because you don't want to go into the half with giving them the momentum after you had it. And
that
you would have
field goal, I'm not questioning. You go up 3 scores, like Jordan's saying here in the comments.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
The one to tie the game is the one that bugged me. That's the one you're down. You've been up you had a 17-point lead and you blew it. They tied it. And they went up by 3. You had a chance to tie the game. That's the one that bugs me.
No, they were never ahead in the game. They never had a chance to tie the game. They went down by 10, and they went for it to go up 3 scores. They went for it when they had a chance to go up 17 points again. They had a chance, but they chose to go for it. And if they would have gotten it, that would have completely switched the momentum of the game, because they would have ran more clock off. They would have ran into the 4th quarter, and they would have gotten whatever points they would have gotten on that drive. No. And it would have been 3 scores.
We were down by a field goal. Dan Campbell had a chance to tie. Instead, he goes for it on 4th down, turns the ball over on downs. They come down, score a touchdown. Now they're up by 10. We get a touchdown late. Now they're up by 3 to win the game. So I think you're a little off on that analysis there.
Well, we're talking
that's
about
that's actually how that played out. And I'm mad that he didn't try to tie the game at that point.
So we're talking about two different scenarios of
Correct.
what he did.
You're talking about going into halftime where he kicked the field goal. I agree.
No, I'm talking about after halftime. There was There's 3 4th downs that are in question right here, and the thing is like, if you're going to be that guy, be that guy. I'm not saying he should have not kicked it before halftime, but I'm just saying that if you're going to be super, super aggressive and that was your plan to go in, you should have went for it there too, instead of kicking a 9-yard field goal. It's so, I mean, but it is, here we are in this Doctor Strange type of thing. I mean, they had a chance to win the game. I actually think that them running the ball on the goal line and getting stopped and having to call a timeout, before they scored the touchdown to bring it in within a score, was bigger than any play in the game. Because if they would have scored there and had the 3 timeouts, then that stop they had would have gave them the ball back with, a minute left. That timeout was huge on that 2nd down after they got to the goal to go. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I do. They ran the ball.
Yep, they ran the ball. They tried to catch him off guard.
Yeah.
They tried because no one, they tried to catch him off guard and it burnt them. That was the biggest, should they have passed it? I don't know. I'm not going to criticize the call, but that was the biggest stop of the game right there. You forced them to use a timeout. Now we're in an onside kick situation instead of kick the ball and you try and stop them, But we could have got the ball back. Timeout. That timeout was huge. But, all right, but let's hear from Christopher Walken anyway, because we're doing this every day.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
How in the world do you get Christopher Walken to come in and plug your show? Mike knows some guys that are in high places. That's all I'm going to say.
First name Tech, last name Nology.
I like that. Right there. But don't be this guy.
Sell the team, bro. Sell the team. 1957. Ain't won shit since 1957. They need to sell the team. They ain't never going to do nothing. Same old lines.
Oh, my gosh, man. Get it out of there. My gosh. Be more like Axel Foley, dude. That's a throwback. Yeah, we're doing big things this year, guys. I mean, next year. Better luck next year. Here we go. I made this once. I thought that was pretty cool with our little lions. We got, we want to be sophisticated lions here. One of the beautiful things, and let's get into this. I mean, we're done beating this dead horse. Anybody want to complain anymore? Let's see what we got. Have you been looking in the comments, Mike? Does anybody have any word?
We got a good one here from Don Potential. Any fan that's been a Lions fan knows that Dan Campbell was going to go for it on 4th down, whether anyone liked it or not. I'm almost to the point of saying that in order for one to be eligible to be a coach on the Lions, you have to go for it on 4th down. I think it's safe to say it's in their coaching contract. Well, I get what you're saying there, Don, that it might be in Dan Campbell's DNA, that's who he is and that's who he's going to go. And it brings up an interesting thing. This season, in the 2023 season, more teams went for it on 4th down than any year in NFL history. You don't think that's a direct result of Dan Campbell leading the way, showing the rest of the league? Don't be a pussy. Don't punt. Let's go for it. Analytics bear it out. Let's do it. And you're seeing other teams all the way across. And now I think we might even see in the Super Bowl teams going for it on 4th down because it's becoming a trend. It's a copycat league. And I think Dan Campbell showed the league that it's okay to have some balls.
I keep on going back because I I want to feel, but I'm such a logical person that it just doesn't make any sense to me to blame Dan Campbell, because here's the thing is, like, when you look back at those plays, the big plays that he did that on, and then forget the one, I don't care about the other one, but you can look back at those plays, he called the right play. Like, even the one that bounced off of Reynolds' hands, right? They went on the next play, Reynolds was wide open on that throw that was missed to Amon-Ra St. Brown on that on that fourth down. Reynolds was running wide open. And did he not throw it to Reynolds because he dropped the other ball? Is that what happened right there? So the thing is like, the players have to make the plays. And I don't want to blame it on Reynolds, because there were other plays. Jahmyr Gibbs fumbling the ball. There were other plays in the game that were devastating at the time. But the big players make big plays in the big moments. And it was too big for Josh Reynolds. And those 3 drops, I mean, he catches any one of those balls, I argue the Lions win the game.
And he caught him all year. All year they trusted him. All year he was clutch. I mean, we used that word to describe him a few times this year, clutch. And in the clutch, he didn't deliver in the championship game. It's disappointing, but it is what it is.
And the thing is like, I can't knock Dan Campbell, because in order to knock him, you have to take the wins away. You have to take his wins away, because what got you here is that. And it didn't work this time, right? It backfired on you. But like I said, any one of those 3 catches, and if he caught both of them, if he got 2 out of those 3 chain moving catches, it's a lock. It was a lock the Lions were going to win. They were going to move the ball right down the field. The offense was working. The run game was working. He catches those 3 passes, that's 7 minutes off the clock. That's ball control. That's running the ball. That's giving the ball back to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, who were averaging 6 yards a carry. That's how big those drops were. Josh Reynolds, I'm sorry, brother, but we're going to talk about these free agents that are pending, and you are one of them, and I'm sorry. That's you letting us down in the biggest moments. It is what it is. You've made big catches all year, so I'm not going to kill you for it.
I got to step away for just a second, Russ. I'll be right back.
You see? Now you've upset Mike, Josh Reynolds. I mean, I can't believe that you would let it. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding in there. Oh, my gosh. Steve is real. Yeah. He says that it really seems like the league is going to come down to special teams, where they're really not going to be needed. Teams hardly punt anymore, and it seems like kickoffs are changing. I mean, I think there's some merit to that. I think that's a good comment right there. Because is that what it is? Because the analytics tell you that it's easier to get to 2 yards. And I think that it's all the way up to like 4 or 5 yards. So that makes it, that it's more advantageous for you to go forward. I mean, think about it. If you're going down and you give up and you pass on 3 points, right? And then you pass on 3 points again, right? And then you pass on it the 3rd time, but then you score the touchdown. I mean, you've already made it up. You can fail twice. And then, but your success will get you 4 more points. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get more points per drive. I mean, LMAO, good morning. Your coach choked it away. I disagree 100%. Players make the plays. The coach put those players in a position to move the chains or on those plays. You have to make those catches. It hit him in the hands. Players make plays. Coaches draw up the plays. If I draw up a 4th and 2 and I draw up the perfect play and the receiver drops the ball, that's Dan Campbell's fault. Okay. That's an interesting logic you got there. So, Dan Campbell has been Dan Campbell all season long. That's what he's done. That's how he got here. They won the Rams game by taking a gamble, by going forward on fourth down and extending plays. I am not going to give Matt Stafford the ball. That's what they were trying to do. Fumble the ball. How is that Dan Campbell's fault, Robert? They fumbled the ball and gave them a short field. How is that Dan Campbell's fault? Players make plays. Coaches coach and players make plays. The coach put them in position to win the game, and the players failed. That's it. That's the thing. You can look at a play and say, like, when you look at the game, the Lions lost the game more than San Francisco won it. There are plays where, the defensive player makes this great play or something crazy happens. And in this case, you got a fluke off the face mask catch. And then you have the Lion player failing to make the play where the play needed to be made. That's it. I mean, the gamble works. The player's got to make the play. Players make the plays. All right. So, you are watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne. We are here 11 a.m. every morning. Well, at least during the week, even during this off season. And we were talking about, Dan the Gamble. Dan the Gamble. Is it too much? Is he doing too much? I'd like to hear from Lion fans right here on this more than anything else. I know that the other fan bases just want to clown, and I get that. That you guys got the right to clown us up, but it doesn't make your take right. It doesn't make your take right. I mean, to me, if you're it's very lazy to blame Dan Campbell on this. Because you look back at the game, the plays, the coaches put the players in a position to win the game, and there were plays to be made, and the players didn't make the plays. Jameson Williams dropped a touchdown pass. The players need to make the plays. Jahmyr Gibbs fumbled the ball and gave them a short field. The players need to make the plays. And that wasn't the defense making a play on Jahmyr Gibbs. He never got the handoff secured, and they took advantage of that. He never had the ball secured, and really, like, as a defense right there, if you don't take advantage of that, then you shouldn't be in the NFC Championship. Good on San Francisco for realizing the ball wasn't secure and punch that thing out. So that's what it comes down to. It's a learning experience too for these players, because Dan Campbell ain't going to change. You can call it what you want. Call it what you want, but that's the way that this team's going to play. They trust the offense to put up points. Asking Jared Goff, he loves it. It shows that he believes in us. And I've said this 100 times on here. With this style that they're playing, the defense is their offense. That's why he goes for it on fourth down. Because when the gambles work, boy, do you like Dan the Campbell. Boy, do you love this guy when he's spinning that wheel. But they look at it like I mean, from the inside of the organization, they're looking at it like Jared Goff says, look, I love it. It shows that he believes in us. I believe in my
graphic. What a sweet slide that is.
You like that?
I do.
You like that? Yeah, we're working hard this year. You know what? We need the Lions to upgrade their team in this offseason to go to next year. And, the main event 365 right here in the villain squad, we're also going to upgrade. We want to up our game. We want to be better at what we do. We tried trash talking. People couldn't hang with the trash talk. And I'm not going to hang and let people trash talk me when they don't let me trash talk them. You can't just come in on your wins and trash talk me. It doesn't work like that. So, and once it becomes personal, once you start throwing shots at us, once you start saying, we love the fact that you're having problems with this, page thing and your personal side. We got haters, Mike. Isn't it a good thing? It just shows us that, look how far we've come, Mike. We have haters. We have haters that want to see us fail. They want to see us fail. And, we're just football talk with Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike. And we're just fans of the Detroit Lions. And we love being here every day right here. But just listen to Kaminsky. This is what I really say.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch.
That his hair is luxurious. I know that it is right there. His luxurious hair right here. This is Football Talk with Russell Wayne right here. I got Main Event Mike back, so we might as well get back into some of this PFF, the scores. Do you want to see I don't even know what the scores are, Mike. It's going to be just as much of a surprise to me as it is to you.
I'm interested in Josh Reynolds' PFF.
All right, let's see if we got that. All right, we got you on the side. All right, let me get in here and look at this. So you want to jump in there. Let's see what Josh Reynolds, let's look at some of these right here. Penei Sewell, oh my God, is this guy the best tackle in football or what? I mean, look at how he stands out right there. Can you see that?
I can.
You're studying it. You're going, wow.
No, I'm looking at the comments because you know how we are. We're very diligent about keeping it clean of advertising, right? And people trying to sell stuff. But we got a first-time commenter here, Scott, who says, I'm a diehard fan for life, and I'm a realist, tired of the blame game. Learn from your mistakes and get better in 2024. And I'm like, wow, what a great comment. I really like it. But then coming down here, he comments, I'm a finalist in Detroit Lions' biggest fan contest. Can I get your vote? So were you commenting or were you just fishing for votes for Lions' biggest fan contest?
I don't know. Maybe can he say yes to that? I mean, really, maybe he came in. That was a good comment, though.
It was a good comment.
That was a good comment, and he deserves a plug right there. Is he the biggest fan? I don't know. Me and you run a podcast 365 days a year talking about the Lions. I think that makes us pretty big fans. Maybe you should vote for Main Event Mike and Russell Wayne. But that's what I think. Oh, my God.
Penei Sewell is what you were talking about. 92.2?
Yep.
Against Joey Bosa.
Look at that run block.
Wow.
Look at that run blocking. Yeah, I mean, pass blocking, Joey Bosa got his licks in there. That's usually a lot higher. That 73.2 is usually higher with Penei Sewell.
And on that, there you see starting at number 8, we have 3 free agents there. So that's going to tie right into what we're talking about. Graham Glasgow, Jason Kabinda, Craig Reynolds. That's 3 free agents coming up this year. And you can see how well they scored.
Yeah, the Graham Glasgow. The thing is like with the Lions, I think that with Graham Glasgow in that middle, in the middle part, we got Penei, we got Ragnow, and Decker. So I think that the interior is a lot easier. I don't want to say easier, but I mean, you're putting in guys that need to be in between all pros. Okay, you're asking a guy to come in, and I think they're going to draft this, Mike. I think Colby Sorsdahl, all year long. I mean, he got thrown into the fire pretty early, struggled a little bit, and kind of held his own at the end. Being thrown in there, going from William and Mary to Nick Bosa. You know what I mean? Like, poor guy. But I think they're going to draft in the middle, right there. And, but I mean, I could see Glasgow coming back. I don't think that he's gonna. I mean, you think that he's gonna go try to get a huge contract?
No, I think we're going to give him what he's not going to ask for too much because he's on the backside of his career. I think so. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think he likes being here. I like. Scott did reply though. He says, "If you were a finalist, I'd vote for you. I made it to the finals. Don't be hating." Good call, Scott. You got it, buddy. We're going to go ahead and vote for you. So follow that link in the comments and vote for Scott for the biggest Lions fan. But you have to excuse us, Scott. We get a lot of people trying to push scams in here in our comments.
Yeah, but that didn't
We're
seem
just
like
gun shy.
And we're just cracking jokes anyway. We're not in the contest. we're not in the contest. So don't vote for us. Don't take us serious right there. Don't take our football takes serious either, because we're not very smart. And but we love talking about football, and we're in this free agent contest. And go vote for him. Go vote for him. He wasn't spamming. That's what Mike was trying to. He was trying to make sure he wasn't one of those spam bots that are like, "Hey, are you looking for a date?" Like,
right.
Like what?
Robots don't say "don't be hating."
Right. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that he's a human. So we won't be hating anymore. Let's give him some love. Go vote for him. What's his name? Sam?
Scott Young.
Oh, Scott Young.
Yeah, Scott Young. Hey, let's
go
see
vote for Scott Young.
Let's see what those defensive PFFs were for the Lions. I'm really interested in this too.
All right, let me get.
It's our final PFF Tuesday of the year, by the way.
Oh, is it? Oh, that sucks. Oh, okay. On defense, what do we got?
Brian Branch, the Rook.
Good. It's good to see a lot of these younger players.
It is.
Up at the top of this. And then you look down at the bottom. CJ Gardner-Johnson was the lowest graded PFF, and he's the one that ran his mouth the most. Oh, look who's right next to him. Cam Sutton. And don't worry about Jalen Reeves-Maben. He only took 3 snaps. John Kaminsky struggled. Romeo struggled. Josh Paschal struggled. Will Harris struggled.
In fact, no one on the defense scoring 80.
Yeah. It's funny. Even when Jack Campbell's bad, this dude against the run, 71.5. It's like he's a tackling machine. Kendall Vildor, Benito John. Yeah. I mean, really, our good players were our good players, 77, 71, 71, 71. Ifatu's been good against the run all year, but at the end of that game, man, it was really, I mean, that really probably tore the scores up because they were doing well. And I was talking with Grove Teague yesterday, and he brought up an interesting point, and I don't think that too many people have been talking about it, but Derek Barnes got injured in that game. And and then Malcolm Rodriguez got an interception. He got an interception.
Yeah, he was also third on the team in tackles. Malcolm came in and played great.
So Malcolm Rodriguez comes in at a 7-1.
And still a stud on special teams too. Sorry, Russ, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's it. But when you look at that, I mean, Derek Barnes in coverage anyway is pretty good, and being 6 foot, 6'1", I think he is, is a linebacker, where Rodriguez is smaller. It is what it is, right? Like, that's where we really got abused over the middle with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. I mean, I don't know whose fault that is, but I know Derek Barnes is good. Has been good in coverage. He got the game-winning interception.
For a 6th round draft pick, I have no complaints with Malcolm Rodriguez.
I don't have any complaints with it. I'm just saying that Derek Barnes was our starting linebacker. And anytime that, and it isn't just Malcolm Rodriguez, it's the whole linebacker core. I mean, these guys are rotating in and out. It changes things. So, that's an interesting point to that. And then, I don't really care to look at if anybody wants to see, throw it in the comments if you want to see anything from San Francisco. I really want to move on from this pain moment and really get into like moving on.
Yeah. Sarah's asking, so are you keeping Justin Fields or are you drafting a new quarterback? Bear down, Mike. I mean, that's really the offseason question for Chicago.
Right. So we're going to get into these free agents.
Oh, that's where we're going. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because we're not going into the Bear group today. We're doing Lions talk today, and Lions talk in forever because we're Lions fans. I think it's a good pivot because we need a championship, Mike. So the notable free agents. So there's different types of free agents when it comes to these things. Exclusive rights free agents. So exclusive rights free agents. This is weird. This is where James Houston is, Khalil Dorsey, Xavier Knight, but really James Houston's the one that you're really looking at right here. It's kind of crazy, but because he went to the practice squad first after they drafted him, the contracts work differently with those guys, and they're only 2-year contracts, and now he has to sign a veteran contract, but we have the only rights to him. Nobody else can sign him. So we can offer him a veteran minimum contract, and he has to sign that contract or sit out. Like that's his choice.
Or become a free agent.
He has no right to become a free agent.
No, I'm saying we either have to offer him the veteran minimum or we have to let him explore free agency.
Right,
We're also in a pickle on it.
No, we're not in a pickle because having a bona fide pass rusher that had 8 sacks when he was healthy for the veteran minimum is a steal.
Yeah, but he had pins, screws, and I heard ropes. He had ropes installed in his leg.
I understand that, Mike, but the veteran minimum is like $800,000. Okay, so this isn't that is not a pickle. That is something that you can sign, get rid of. Like you could cut them immediately. Like that, there is no risk in that for the Lions. It's a very smart, savvy way to have put the contract because it gave Brad Holmes all of the leverage in this situation. So James Houston will be a Lion next year in one way or another, and they'll find out if those pins and ropes will work on his leg. Other undrafted restricted free agents: Brock Wright, Jerry Jacobs, Benito Jones, and Shane Zylstra. Like there's like no let
him go.
Like I was told in one of the chats, somebody I can't remember which one it was, that they were telling me, you guys got 30 free agents. What are you guys gonna do about that? So we're gonna explore that. That's what we're doing today. I would think that restricted free agent means we get to match. That's the cool thing about that. So possibly Jerry Jacobs is depth. Brock Wright most certainly will probably get a contract. So, but that's not going to cost anything either. For $1.50, you're going to get Brock Wright. Undrafted free agents. So, I'm going to just start listing them off because all of them you're probably going to go, meh. But I'm going to slow down on some of them I think that we might. And I'll start with one I'll pause on, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Gone?
Gone. Let him go.
We used a 6th-round draft pick on him.
It was for the playoff run. Let him go. I mean,
Okay.
unless he's coming. I mean, all of these come with the caveat, unless you're going to sign him cheap. Cheap.
Okay, well, let's put the caveat on all of these guys. And if I'm not, and let me look at these right here. And then I'll bring up a couple of them at the end that wouldn't have this caveat, that would cost more. But I'll just say some of these guys right here. Donovan Peoples-Jones, this is going to be like, let's say it was like a 1 year, like $3.5 million, right? Like something like that. Jason Kabinda, Kendall Vildor, Craig Reynolds.
Keep him. You got to keep Craig. He won't be expensive.
No.
They trust him. He's reliable. Fans love him. Got to keep Craig.
And you're going to get a hold of Eric, and we're going to get Eric on the program because I know they're going to re-sign Craig. Julian Okwara.
He's already signed to the practice squad. He's already cleared waivers. No need to do anything there. He either signs with us or he can go find another contract, be on someone else's practice squad. I like Okwara. I definitely would love to retain him, but I'm not going to pay anything for him.
So there's definitely no worry right there. I'm trying to kind of create a point right here, because like there's no the guys that are leaving. It's almost like you could almost be like, okay, all right. Josh Reynolds.
I say keep Josh Reynolds. I say
Josh Reynolds.
He's a reliable third receiver. Those 2 drops in the championship game were tough.
Okay.
He was clutch all year. He has good rapport with Jared Goff. He's only a number 3 or a number 4 receiver at best. He doesn't try to be anything else. He fits that mold. He's tall. He can play outside the numbers. He's good over the middle. He's tough in the red zone. Absolutely, I'd keep Josh Reynolds. I love Ken Fisher over here. He's just saying no, yes, no. So every player you mentioned, he's just saying no. That's what we should do, is just write down every name, and I'll just give you a 1-word answer. Bum.
Well. So far, let's recap right here. And I can probably guess your yes. You got Peoples-Jones, no.
Gone.
Kabinda, no. Vildor, no. Craig Reynolds, yes.
Yes.
Julian, already there. Right? That's where we're at.
So he's essentially a no. We're not going to sign you to a big contract. No.
Yeah, but it's not even a decision, I guess. Matt Nelson,
no.
Reeves Maben,
yes.
Yep, I would call that one a priority because first team All-Pro as a special teamer.
I'd be okay with him being the highest paid reserve linebacker in the league, in fact. Because he's a reserve, he's a rotational linebacker.
Absolutely. And that's the cool thing is, like, a lot of times you get these special teams guys that really don't have value outside of special teams. And in a pinch, you can count on Jalen Reeves-Maben to go out there, play the linebacker with speed, and usually be pretty good in coverage too. So yes, priority re-signing. You know what? Let's go ahead and make the marks on there. Right there. So we're re-signing Craig. Come on, Craig.
Craig.
And then we got Reeves-Maben and Julian's kind of a nothing right there. And then you say Josh Reynolds. And I knew that everybody was going to kind of pick, because you're really going to pick one, right? They're going to keep Donovan Peoples-Jones, or they're going to keep Josh Reynolds. Like,
or what about Antoine Green? He's a rookie under contract, so he's not even a free agent. Don't even have to worry about it.
Right.
But he could. But my point there is we've already got Josh Reynolds. We've already got DPJ. His name is Antoine Green.
Right. So they may not. There's a chance they may not re-sign either one of them.
Right.
Because you got the emergence of Jamison Williams. I think that he's slid into that other wide receiver spot. You got Khalif Raymond under contract already. It's perfectly okay to develop your 4th wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. And I live in a fantasy world where we're going to acquire Mike Evans. So that could change everything.
Please, man.
I know. I told you it's a pipe dream.
Okay, man. All right. Will Harris.
Gone.
He gone. Dan Skipper. That ain't gonna cost anything. He could be
Keep
on
him.
the couch. Yeah. We won't have to even contract him though, but he's a guy that could sit on his couch and be like, oh shit, we need a guy. And then Dan Skipper shows up, the Gypsy King. Jonah Jackson.
That one's tough, isn't it?
It is, because Jonah Jackson is, hold on. Let's circle back to that. Chomp on that in your mind for a minute, and I'll move on to some of these other guys that won't call it. Romeo Okwara.
Let him explore free agency and keep him if he can get a deal better than we're going to give him. Don't keep him.
We'll get him on the veteran minimum, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll I'll put a question mark on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
100%. 100%. If he'll sign for the same deal he did, bring him back. He should be acceptable to that because he missed so many games. I mean, he basically got a big payday all year for playing 4 games.
I'm not on board with that.
Ooh.
He ran his mouth. And Dan Campbell said that, and this is something that I think that is going to come back, is I don't care how much talking you do as long as there's no personal fouls. And he went up from behind Debo and gave him a cheap shot, and that's not what we're all about. And I think that he's going to be gone. We're going to work with Brian Branch, Ifeatu Melifonwu, and Kirby Joseph and Tracy Walker, our young core. They're already under contract. We're good there. You develop these guys and then now draft other guys. Draft other people. But we don't need a guy that's going to give he got a personal foul on that. Wasn't that on the interception?
No, it was on a first down. It was on interception.
Yeah, they were returning it, and it was like, and then you brought the ball 15 yards farther back, and that's unexcusable, man. That's the biggest game that we've ever been in, and you're giving cheap shots.
Wow, and I loved it at the time, though. I loved it at the time, but you're right. You're so right. Dan Campbell did say that too. He says, I don't care. Talk all you want. Just don't let it lead to a personal foul. And it did. And that might have cost you. But don't worry. There'll be plenty of teams lining up to give him a bag.
Yeah. And you know what? He'll probably get more money that way.
For sure.
So we also got, Emmanuel Mosley. That's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, even if they did sign him to some sort of like injury type of deal, it would be nothing, and you wouldn't have him available until. But I have heard that Emmanuel Mosley has been like a true pro and been in meeting rooms helping with game planning and stuff like that. That he tried to earn his keep as much as he could without having a leg. So. That's pretty good. So that's it. That's all of our free agents. So let's circle back to possibly the 2 biggest, which I think are those 2 offensive linemen in Jonah Jackson and Graham Glasgow. I do think that Graham Glasgow, he played well enough that I think that he's going to be able to go get that bag like who was everywhere Evan Brown got from Seattle. He's earned that. He played well enough to get that. If he stays here at a discount, that would be really cool. But I don't think that we're going to be paying a premium there because
for Glasgow
or really anybody. That's why I don't think that they're going to re-sign Jonah Jackson, because I think Jonah Jackson's going to go get 10 plus somewhere. And I don't think that we're going to pay that to a 4th offensive lineman with Sewell right around the corner, but I don't know.
Yeah, Jonah Jackson is the prototype left guard, right? He's a road grader in the run game. He's great in pass protection. He's a valuable piece of this offensive line. When he's hurt, I feel like the Lions feel the loss. So losing him in free agency, we would feel that. You better have a good replacement if you're not going to re-sign Jonah Jackson. That's all I'll say on that.
Yeah, so let's go into, this is the salary cap stuff right here. Oh, get out of my freaking way, buttholes. And this is from Over the Cap. Can you see that? Let's see.
Yeah.
I want to say that. Yeah. Okay. So Over the Cap has us right there at $58 million for going into the season. And that's with a quarterback that's taken up $32 million under contract. So I know everybody's been talking about this Jared Goff extension. Has he earned a contract? I think that's an easy answer. He's definitely earned a contract extension.
Put it in the comments right now. If you think Jared Goff has earned a contract extension, I'm going to say yes. And I like doing the deal before the preseason starts or during free agency, because you can kick some of that contract down the road, backload it, and free up some cap space this year to make a legit Super Bowl run next year. I'd love to see us go get Danielle Hunter, get a good corner in the draft, get another couple pieces on defense. The way Brad Holmes drafts, we could get 2 good players on defense, get one in free agency, and we're legit. Jared Goff's earned that extension. He's our quarterback for at least the next 3 to 4 years. Hendon Hooker was a 3rd-round draft pick. You haven't lost a lot if he never sees the field.
All right. So what I want to show you right here is we're getting into some of these numbers right here. And I want to make it make sense right here for everybody. So you're looking at base salary, your prorated bonus, all that. Like, don't worry about any of that stuff. You look over here to the right-hand side, that $27 million. This was the part of the contract at the beginning, which was very friendly to Brad Holmes and the Lions, that's a really good deal for a top 5 quarterback, right? When you're looking at that money now, when they extend him, because if you look at that cap number, you see that cap number is $32 million, right? And oh God, I wish that you could see.
Right. If they cut him before June 1st, they'll save $5 million, and the cap hit would then be 27.3.
So with that cap number being so high, and his base salary being $22 million, now if they extend him, that is going to be a whole bunch of extra money. Like, the Lions can legit, by extending Jared Goff, the Lions can legit go on a Super Bowl run. Like, they can really go for it, because they can lower his cap number to, they could lower it to $3 million. They could free up another $20 million in cap on top of this $58 million. So this could be more like $90 million when it's all said and done, just by extending Jared Goff. That move by itself, and that's not it, of the moves that they can do. I mean, you look in here, Taylor Decker wants to be a Lion forever. And I don't know about you, Mike, but he's one of him and Penei Sewell are cornerstones of this. And I think that they should be our right and left tackle for the next 5 years at least. Both of them should get extensions. If they needed more money, they could extend Taylor Decker right now, and his base salary at $13 million, they could probably free up another $5-6 million right there. Or they could lower it all the way down to $3 million. They could let maybe $8-9 million extra. So the Lions are in position right now to go and win the Super Bowl. Like, with that type of power right there, by extending their own guys and really throwing their hat into contending for the next 4 or 5 years with the core of this team, you can get a lot better. With an extra $30 million, you can buy who's the best cornerback that's going to be out there. They got a shutdown ready to come. What did they offer Jair Alexander? A bag. Come here 1 year. You want to win that title? Stick you next to Cam. Cam Sutton is an awful number 1 corner. Like, I mean, you looked at PFF score, Mike. You agree with that, right? Yeah, he's been abused by the offenses this year. But if you stick a number one corner onto this defense, like somebody that has shutdown skills that can actually lock down the number one person, and then Cam Sutton is covering the rest, I think that you're going to see a different Cam Sutton covering the number two in the slot. Having him be in the Jerry Jacobs role, I think Cam Sutton would excel there. So, I think that could happen, and that could absolutely happen with extending. This guy's earned the contract. He's earned it so much that the contract is so advantageous that you can free up a whole bunch of money and keep the guy. And if you're on the Hendon Hooker train, that's fine. I mean, the fan base has been dying for a running quarterback. And we'll segue right here because we talked about that go ahead, Mike.
You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne every weekday morning at 11 a.m. That's what you're watching. It sure is. You can go on to Facebook and follow us at Lions Villain Squad, or go on to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Hey, please go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to build that up. It's at Main Event 365. Right there it is on your screen. MANE at Main Event 365 on YouTube. We're trying to build that up. We kind of suck on YouTube, and we're really trying to get to the not suck category. So thanks everyone for watching. It's been an incredible year. We're going to continue to keep doing this, though. We're going to come and talk about football, free agency, the draft, the combine. There's so much to talk about. We're going to keep it rolling. We got some great comments in here, Russ, especially about these offensive linemen that we've been talking about. Brent says we need another O lineman. Also, Frank Ragnow might retire. That's a great call out. I say we look for the best young center in the draft and try to make a move there. I know a lot of people want us to draft defense, but it's that offensive line is our bread and butter. I think we got to keep replenishing that, keep the strength of our team. Young Morg says we got to pay Jackson somehow, some way. He's a key piece to that offensive line. I agree.
Can I jump back? I jump in on homeboy right there with the Frank Ragnow, because Frank Ragnow is signed right now through, let me see, there's their 2020. Is he there 2026?
Doesn't matter. He'd retire because of injury. 2020.
This guy wants a title, Mike. Are you kidding me? You really? I would bet. And I'll bet you $1 gentleman's bet right now. Frank the Tank will take his one leg out there with a half a toe, and I don't care if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass. Frank Ragnow's that guy. I mean, the dude plays on one leg in the NFC Championship game. This guy's not going anywhere. He's going to rehab that leg. He's going to get as healthy as he can. The toe injury, they said he should have retired last year. Yeah, it's just some pain. It's just pain, Mike. That's what he says. There's not every player on planet Earth. As a matter of fact, it's very rare. This is a rare trait right here that you have on a player. But Frank don't give a crap. He wants what he wants. He's fighting for something spiritual. And when you lose somebody close in your family, there's something that goes on there. And I'm willing to take. Are you willing? You want to take that bet that he don't retire?
No, I think he definitely would stay another year. All right, maybe 2. That doesn't change the fact that we should draft his replacement now. Oh! I didn't know that's what we were talking about. That's what the point was.
And that's fine. Yeah, draft his replacement, but draft a guy that can play center and guard.
But the commenter said that Frank might retire. It's just something to consider. I agree that your opinion is that he won't. My opinion is that he won't. But there is a real possibility.
Okay.
He's playing through excruciating pain, according to what they've said about this toe injury. It's not necessarily, they call it a toe injury, but it's actually the tendon that holds the toe to the ball of the foot and it's irreparable. It cannot be repaired. He'll feel pain for the rest of his life. So if I'm going to be dealing with this pain the rest of my life, I'm probably going to make a run to get a Super Bowl at least 1 or 2 more years. I agree with you there, but it might become too much. His doctor, his family, we don't know what's in a man's heart, right? That I think what the commenter said rings true. There's a possibility he could retire, and that needs to be thought about. Next comment we got is from Scott, who says, we need to keep whoever's best at keeping our non-mobile quarterback safe. That's a great call out. Young says, I think Jared Goff earned an extension for sure. I think we're all aligned there. Elise says, Goff extended? Yes. All right. I think that's
my quarterback.
That's the general consensus. And then somebody asked if Vildor, is that from Harry Potter? No, that's actually Voldemort. So he who shall remain nameless, Kindle Vildor.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I wouldn't put him at the top of the priorities. You know, it's like, it's really fun to try to plug the holes in this team because for the first time, this is going to be a fun offseason, guys. And I know we're going a little bit over. That's one of the things that we are going to start doing is we're going to start doing these hard stops, but I don't mind going over today a little bit.
But I think, Fred, I told you, man, we got some PFF nerds in here every week that want to see these PFF grades. Maybe we should stay on a few more minutes and show them PFF. Are you able to do that?
Sure. I mean, what do they want to know?
Let's just go look at the other team. Let's see what Lamar Jackson came out in a losing effort after $258 million contract. Let's see what kind of grade in the championship game he got. How about Travis Kelce? Can we agree that this is the best damn tight end in the world ever? Maybe we gloss over some of these PFF grades because it is PFF Tuesday and we've kind of just skipped some of it. It's our last one of the year.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
I'm a little short on this one. Clarence says, sorry, didn't pay attention to conversations, but notice my other comments, please. I realized this effective thing that changes everything. Man, you should be a little more specific there, brother, and maybe we'll try to get onto that. I don't know what's that all about. I like this call out here from D-Town Heat. Detroit has finally built a strong foundation. Just got to add a few more blocks to reach the top. What a great call. And you just nailed it right there. A great foundation. You look at some of these young players that we have. Other teams in the league would just kill to have the kind of foundational pieces that Brad Holmes has been able to draft. And the good news, folks, there's another draft coming. All right, here we go. What are we looking at here? This is the San Francisco 49ers offensive grades. All-world left tackle Trent Williams, a 90.2. Not as high as Penei Sewell or even Taylor Decker for that matter, but still an outstanding.
He was more solid, though, across the board. When you look at it, like he was pass block, run block. Penei was definitely run block oriented. Like his run blocking grade was out of this world. The pass block was okay, so there was a difference between those two. Let's see who their bad one was. They have anybody that nobody really graded out bad. These, like, I know that these are considered bad scores, but if your worst guy is 56.4, I mean, that's pretty damn good. Your low guys, you don't even have a guy that was down in the, in the 20s. There's usually one guy, right? All right, let's go by game here. They wanted to go and see the Ravens. Let's look at these Ravens right here on offense. Right there. Not too many nice. That's not very good.
Lamar Jackson even.
Lamar Jackson with a 50 on the passing. Of course, he brings his score up. That 61 is a 61 overall because of that 87 on the run. But he did not get it done. With the passing, I mean this kind of you have a right, Brock Purdy fans. I was one of the people that were like, yeah, you throw a little pressure on this guy. This kid, Brock Purdy, outplayed Lamar Jackson all year. Lamar had a great regular season, but now that they've already given the award away and we're looking at when it matters, Brock Purdy is the one that is here. and not Lamar Jackson. And it's not Patrick Mahomes either, because look at that. They only scored 17 points, okay? MVP,
That's
10. Sorry about that. Right there. Look at that. That's not good enough. Your right tackle, your offensive line, right there. Boom. Those are your best players. You don't even have the excuse of, this is my offensive line. No, you have no excuse. Your best players were your offensive linemen. You didn't get it done, Lamar Jackson.
Okay. There's Steve. Steve, say you don't know football without saying you don't know football. Mahomes is a bum. Are you kidding me? You must be clowning, right?
Look at these scores for the Baltimore's defense. That Kyle Hamilton, that was the one that you really liked right there.
I wanted us to draft him. Remember on draft day, I wanted this kid.
Right there. Mahomes is a bum. He's chasing the greatest quarterback of all time. And guess what? He has a chance to win 3 out of 6. Is that everybody else's fault? No, he lost. He
only lost one Super Bowl.
And he's won 2, right?
Oh, so I see what you're saying. In 6 years.
In 6 years.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you meant out of 6.
chance.
I thought you meant out of 6 opportunities.
No, out of his 6-year career, he's been to the Super Bowl like 3 out of 5 of the times. Now, 4 out of 6 of the times, right?
Now it will be 4.
Now he'll be a 4 out of 6 years he's been in the Super Bowl.
Right, but Steve says he's a bum.
But what else did he say with it though? What was it? Say you don't know football? Like
that's what I said.
Oh, okay. You say that to him. I thought that he had that caveat on it. Oh, so you don't know football. You don't know that Mahomes is a bum? No, actually, I don't. I have no idea that he's a bum. He might be the greatest of all time. Oh, my gosh.
If he leaves the Chiefs, goes to another team, and wins a Super Bowl, then maybe I'll put him in the same category as Brady.
Well, I should at least put these guys up. Okay, let's look at these guys on offense. Oh, well, these are their defensive players. Wow, look at it. Look at they got a couple guys coming in just for a couple snaps. Those 2 high scores.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of snaps, but they came in and played well.
I mean, if they win the Super Bowl this year, the defense will be the story for Kansas City this year. They've kept this team in the season all year. They have hardly anyone at wide receiver. Mahomes and Kelsey have been trying to do it themselves. Isaiah Pacheco running hard, but it's the defense that's got them where they are now. Let's make no mistake about that. Look, they held the Baltimore Ravens, who score 34 points at home every game. That's their average, 34 at home. They held them to 10 points. Mahomes is great, but this defense, Spagnuolo, he's the real story this year. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, but let's look at that. Look at that. The number 1 player on the Chiefs, according to PFF, at an 86.0 is that bum, Patrick Mahomes. Damn, he sucks.
And for a quarterback, we know that's a giant PFF score. PFF scores for quarterbacks like Jared Goff will blow the game up and only have a 70, right? So we know that 86 for PFF for a quarterback is a giant number.
That bum. Look at that. And then look at that. Greatest tight end of all time, Travis Kelsey, 85.7, showing out again. And then, when you're looking at these 60s, you don't need those guys. And you know what that really tells you when you're looking down here? Look at that. Right tackle, 80 snaps, 50. Oh, yeah. Wait. Yeah, there's a center, 58.6. Your left tackle was your best offensive lineman, really?
Well, that's good because the tackles have been sucking all year for the Chiefs.
But what that says loud and clear is that Patrick Mahomes is making it happen with less talent around him. He doesn't have the wide receivers. They send all his guys packing. He's like, hey, what's your name? Rashid Rice? Yeah, you're about to be a hero. Welcome to the team. We're going to the Super Bowl. It don't matter. Who? Isaiah Pacheco. Just run the football. Okay.
7th round draft pick. Russ, do you know the story of Rashid Rice? He went to SMU, Southern Methodist, and Patrick Mahomes in the offseason gathered a bunch of college receivers, and he did some throwing. He went down there to stay in shape and work out, and he had all these young receivers. And this kid stood out, and Patrick Mahomes went to the front office of the Kansas City Chiefs and said, draft this guy. He had I think a 4th or 5th round grade, and the Chiefs went up 1 round above his projection and took him on Patrick Mahomes' word, just on Pat Mahomes' word that this kid's going to be a stud. Now that's a winner, folks. That's keeping your head in the game all year long, in my opinion. And look how that's worked out for them. Patrick Mahomes is far from a bum. I don't like him. I don't like the Chiefs, but I got to give the guy his credit.
They're going to win a Super Bowl again, Mike. I mean, spoiler alert on what I'm picking for this. I don't care what it is. I will not bet against Patrick Mahomes, because if you're the type of person and you were lucky enough to be on the Patrick Mahomes bandwagon right from the beginning, and you've been betting on Patrick Mahomes right from the very beginning, just like the people who take the Swami's word for it, it's like, if you've actually made those bets, then you may be a rich man. If you've been betting on Mahomes, who are you to bet against Mahomes at this point in time? Your track record sucks if you think Mahomes sucks.
Mm-hmm. Ken Doby says, well, he does have one of the best head coaches in history, too. I'll definitely go with one of the greatest play callers in history, for sure.
You know, I'll go with the common denominator. When it comes to, maybe the greatest coach in history, I mean, they don't make the plays. They don't make the plays. There's no doubt in my mind that in the biggest games, to watch Patrick Mahomes is like watching a work of art masterpiece in the biggest games.
I've seen to get rattled, does he?
Nope. And he always seems to escape the pressure where it looks like the pressure is just right on his ass. Like you almost got Patrick Mahomes and on every play ever. And then he just makes miracles happen.
Yeah. He's like that guy from the commercial with the dollar on the fish line. You almost had it. Oh, you almost had me.
Yep. And that's what I feel when I watch him in the playoffs. Now, when I watched the Lions play in the playoffs, I saw a young, inexperienced team get the tide turned on them, and they didn't recover. And they learned that, in those big games, that was a big learning lesson for the core of the Lions team. Like, that's not going to sit well with them. I think when they start lifting weights and they're trying to become better, they're going to think about how it felt to walk off that field, being ushered off, giving San Francisco room to celebrate. That's not going to sit well in that locker room. That's one of the reasons why I do believe that Frank Ragnow he's in this for as long as Jared Goff is in this. If they extend him out, he's going to do his best to be there for Jared Goff through this run. This is a run. This is the beginning of a run. This is a team where you got players that are about ready to break out. If you could watch that run by Jameson Williams in that NFC Championship game and not realize that there is a star budding right before our very eyes, that's going to be a fun watch. To watch what Jameson Williams can turn into, because here we go. And you already got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's arguably the best wide receiver in football.
First team All-Pro.
Yep. So the players and the people who vote for that don't. I think that's the most significant grading is All-Pro. I mean, you can be in Pro Bowls, all that other jazz, you can be in the Miller Lite top players, whatever. But All-Pro, that's the real shit.
And let's put it out there too, folks. Thursday, day after tomorrow, we're going to start giving some of these off-season, some of these postseason awards out. Rookie of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Those will be the first ones that we attack on Thursday morning. So start wrapping your head around it, looking at your stats, whatever you're going to do, and put your vote in. We're going to let you decide who is. I mean, we might come up with some little trophy or something that we might, the Villy or something, the villain squad, something or other. I don't know. Offensive, defensive rookie of the year on Thursday. We're going to announce our choices. We're going to take your nominations and factor that in. So be ready for that, folks.
And I think that, we went over right here, and I had too many topics, Mike. So I think that we're going to table this Ben Johnson topic for tomorrow. So let's hit that up. We're going to be doing Lions Talk tomorrow, and that's usually our every Wednesday. But I think that we're going to stick more towards this. We will give updates on the other teams. For the people that are watching on YouTube, it is football talk, but we are Lions based right here, and we will hit the other teams during the off season. So all of the Lion fans that are either on Detroit Lions News Podcast or Villain Squad, just be prepared, because we are going to be talking about these other teams. But the people that are watching on YouTube, all the Bear fans, all the Packer fans, all the Viking fans that are on there, don't worry, we're not going to leave your teams out. But for the time being, we got, tomorrow we're going to talk not just about Ben Johnson. We're going to talk about the different jobs that are out there right now, the head coaching jobs that are out there. Might even be some Aaron Glenn talk in there. Who's going to get these coordinators? How are we going to fix this? What's already happened in the NFC North? Right there. I know we say Lions talk, but if we're going to talk about these coordinators, where are they going to go? Maybe that'll take up the whole thing. We might even get.
There might be some news by tomorrow, too. Like Ben Johnson could be gone at this time tomorrow.
Yeah, on an unofficial thing. So nothing can happen until after the Super Bowl's over. I don't think so. Is it? Or can they actually just...
Once your team's eliminated, they can bring him in. Yeah. They say Ben Johnson went yesterday to Seattle. So, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So we could break that news. That would be devastating. But, the question that I have for tomorrow, is there any chance? Because I'm not going to be able to ask this question, too many times. Let me see if I have my slide in here. Is it here? Yeah. Is Ben Johnson a lock to leave? Would that not shock the world
if he stays? Yeah. If
he stays.
Right.
You want to talk about something that coordinators don't count against the cap. They could just, pull a truck up full of dough, give him a bag, biggest bag ever in OC history, and lock him in. But that's not impossible. There's only 2 jobs that are left. And there are some good candidates that are left besides Ben Johnson. He may be the front runner, the sexiest candidate that's out there, but Dan Quinn.
I love you, Bear Down Mike.
What'd he say?
He said, "Where's the other 3 fan bases photos? This is terrible. Where's your slides, Russ? Come on, man. He wants to see Luke Getsy hanging by a noose. That's what he wants to see."
Yeah, but we weren't talking about that. So, try to stick with the topics and the way that they are. I know that we try to sidebar these things pretty good, but there's plenty of off seasons to get to it. So don't Tourette syndrome your topic ideas on here. We're going to have plenty of time to talk about these things. The last thing that happened 2 days ago, and you guys seem to love to talk about it, is the Lions lost in the NFC Championship. So as long as you want to clown us on that, the Lions are still at the forefront of the information right now. Other than, unless you want to talk more about how great Patrick Mahomes is or Taylor Swift.
And we got 11 to 12 days before the Super Bowl. We're going to analyze that up and down, right? We're going to take deep dives into that matchup, even though it's not NFC North or Lions or any of that.
Football talk with Russell Wayne.
Yeah, it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I just know it's going to be an awesome game. Spoiler alert, I'm rooting for the Niners.
Really?
I am. I am,
Really?
because just for one reason, and that reason is I can look back and say, and we lost to the Super Bowl champions.
Oh, okay. I feel I can feel that.
We
I feel
beat
that.
the Chiefs, and we only lost by 3 to the team that eventually won the Super Bowl. I'm going to be, in heated arguments with other fan bases all offseason, and I need that ammunition. That's the only reason I'm rooting for the Niners.
It's not on a gambling thing. Don't put your money on that. All right. just don't put your money on that, Mike. That's why you were out. You were out of your kitty by week 8?
No, I made it to week 12, I think.
You made it to week 12. Yeah. Yeah.
Waiting for Jameson Williams killed me all year.
Dude, he looked good in that last game, man. It came late. I would have been off on mine. I bet on Jameson a couple times too. But
Paul Jones says I'm rooting for a meteor strike.
Oh, they missed out. Oh, they missed out on a great Super Bowl. How good would that have been? Oh my gosh, the Lions blew it, man. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So we to recap today, we talked a little bit about Jared Goff. Did he earn a contract extension? We do have some of those answers in there. So if you didn't get your answer in there, hey, go ahead, get it in there. We talked about the pending Lions free agents. There's a whole bunch of them, but it doesn't look like they're going to lose any meat on this bone. Like it looks like people that might have been gone anyway. We listed off, we came up with, out of the 30 people, you're talking about, you can get James Houston for nothing with that exclusive rights thing. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, re-sign Craig Reynolds, and a Dan Skipper, and then probably find a way to sign one of the two, either between Jonah Jackson and Graham Glasgow. That's kind of where we were at. Where do you think? Who should we resign? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Are you re-signing him? If you're a Lion fan. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
What else did we talk about? Well, we obviously talked about that loss. We talked about whose fault it is. We want to blame people. I mean, Mike likes my graphic right here. Jared Goff, he loves the fact that Dan believes in him, that they believe in the offense, the strength of this team. Can you depend on the offense to go out there and make the plays to win the game? Well,
how about
the
this
drop
call?
passes?
Steve reporting that the Steelers hired Arthur Smith as their new OC. Sarah says, why? I'll tell you why. Because the Steelers love to run the football. They love it. And Arthur Smith loves to run the football. I think it's a great hire. He's a head coach experience. He brings a lot of experience. Mike Tomlin's a savvy guy. I think he brings in a guy that he knows is going to buy into his philosophy. I think it's a great hire. I'm going to jump off, Russ. We done?
Yeah.
All right. God bless each and every one of you. I'm Main Event Mike. Peace out.
All right. I don't know how to segue out of that. So we also talked about Dan Campbell being the gamble, the Dan Campbell, and we went through PFF Tuesday. We went through the scores. We told you wanted to see these PFF scores. It's Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the coordinators. We're going to talk about the coordinator. Is Ben Johnson a lock to leave Detroit? Is he going to sign that head coaching job? Is Aaron Glenn going to go somewhere? He's going to get those interviews. Aaron Glenn. A lot of people would love to see Aaron Glenn gone. Shoot. Some people would like to see Dan Campbell gone. That's, oh my gosh. I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, for those of you that moved the goalpost and were able to move it all the way to the NFC Championship and you got your laugh finally, good for you. Good for you. That's cool that it got moved all the way to the NFC Championship. That was a far way to move the goalpost. You're never going to get that done. You're never going to win a playoff game. You're never going to win another playoff game. Oh, no, you're never going to win the NFC champ. Okay, cool. You moved it all the way there. That's cool. This was the most exciting season. As a Lion fan, this was the most exciting season that I've ever been a part of. And I'm blessed and I'm honored to have a Lions football talk show. And when we get into the off season, we're going to break it down. And we're going to concentrate mostly on the NFC North and how it relates to our Detroit Lions. Because I think that you got to be educated with the other teams. You got to know what they're doing. The Bears have an exciting offseason. I'll admit that. Bear down, Mike. I'll tell you what, that's exciting. That's exciting. We're going to spend some time. Well, probably, I don't know how we're going to do it. If we're going to break it up into, talk a little bit about every team in the North on every episode. Or if we're going to dedicate entire shows to it. But we're coming to the end of our season. And we want to treat it like that too on this program. This is the 2021. Actually, 2020, if I go back to what we were doing with And We Know Sports, when they were coming out of the pandemic, we started doing this. And so this is going to be our third season. And the thing is, it's kind of like the WWE. I'm a big WWE fan, and you can go to Russell Wayne and Pro Football Talk with Russell Wayne, or not pro wrestling. Gosh, I can't even talk right now. If you're into pro wrestling, but you end the season and the new season immediately starts. So our end of the season is going to be Super Bowl Sunday. And then Monday, we'll start the brand new season 3 of Football Talk, Main Event 365, our network. And we want to get better. We appreciate the people that have supported us, but we want to do a better job for you. We want to continue to get better. Delivering the content. When it comes to the NFC North, I'm committed to you. Bear down, Mike. I'm committed to Steve and A-Dub, the Packer fans, the ones that stick with us on the Main Event 365. Because I want to break all of that news. And not quicker than anybody. I don't want to be better than anybody else. I just love being able to be part of the NFL football schedule. And being part of the grind. And Ken Doby represents chopped liver. Ken Doby, as a Bear fan, spent grueling hours of the NFL football draft. No, I'm not talking about the fun picks, where all of the good stuff happened. I'm talking about the grueling 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th round picks. And, that's fun. When we were doing that live, you find the guy that you drafted. You try to find as much information as you can. It was fun. And we made it through the whole thing. So Ken Doby gets I guess it would be like the Bear, the Chicago Bear Iron Man Award. We got to make that one up. That's got to be a Villain Squad award. I got to tell Mike about it. Fred Peterson. Fred Peterson is our Patreon. And he says that he likes Ken Doby. Okay. Even though he's a Bears fan, he usually has good thoughts and conversation. You see, we have mutual respect, and that's what we're going to build through the network. We're going to find out who mutually respects us, because we're branching out and we're going to do our own thing. And the people that have taken the journey with us, that want to stay with us, we love that. We love that. And we're going to continue that relationship through our YouTube channel over at Main Event 365. This guy right there. And that's the one that's going to go into, and we're going to cover with the whole football talk. But, going into the Lions Villain Squad, that's our page, because we are Lions fans. So all the Lions fans out there, whoop, whoop. We like that. We like that. And then, of course, the Detroit Lions news that helped us get this page started. It's been a lot of fun this year, but it's faith, family, and football. And that's the way that the most important thing that no matter what, we've kept at the forefront. Faith, family, and football. I mean, if you have faith, then make sure that you're extending hope to somebody else. And that's what we do. That link that's in the description, that give link, the NTC Give, we use that for outreach. During Thanksgiving, we were able to serve 400 families with turkeys. We are out there doing it. We had like 30 people out there distributing turkeys. And then like 100 families got Christmases. Not just one present, like a full Christmas. Hope. Spreading hope. I don't know what the new thing is, but I'm sure that we got something going on for Easter. So thank you to the people that supported those ministries, because that's the most important thing. Faith, family, and football. Family and football. That's the easy part, And I'm living proof of this right now. We use football. We don't let football use us. Like, we don't become buttholes when the team loses. I still got these experiences with my son to watch the Lions do things they've never done before. It made it an exciting season. That's the blessing from this. There's a lot of good things that came from this. So the family and football, that's easy, as long as you keep your right perspectives in there. So I'm leaving you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow. Lions Talk with Russell Wayne. Peace out.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifonwu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
Play my game like